Sometimes the people who look the most ordinary, the most harmless, are the ones hiding the darkest secrets. This is the story of Skylar DeLeon, a former child actor who grew up to become one of California's most infamous murderers, and how two loving grandparents, Tom and Jackie Hawks, vanished without a trace, only to be discovered at the bottom of the sea. In the late 1980s, Tom Hawks, a former probation officer and bodybuilder, met Jackie, a kind-hearted woman who quickly became the center of his world. They married in 1989. Together, they raised Tom's two teenage sons, and eventually, the boys began calling Jackie Mom. Tom and Jackie weren't wealthy. They saved every dollar, living modestly. But what they did have was each other. By 2002, the boys were grown and gone, and Tom and Jackie decided to chase a lifelong dream. They sold their home, bought a yacht, and named it Well Deserved. For 2 years, they sailed the Pacific, visiting Mexico and California's coast, living what many would call a dream life. But in 2004, they got news. They were going to be grandparents. And instantly, the dream shifted. They decided to sell their yacht, buy a house again, and settle down near their future grandchild. They put the yacht up for sale, asking around $500,000. And soon, a young couple expressed interest, Jennifer and Skylar DeLeon. At first glance, Skylar and Jennifer seemed normal. Skylar even bragged that, as a kid, he'd appeared in small TV roles, even a bit part on Power Rangers. But what Tom and Jackie didn't know was that Skylar was drowning in debt, desperate, and planning something horrific. On November 15, 2004, Tom and Jackie invited the couple aboard the Well Deserved for a sea trial, a test run before the purchase. It was the last time anyone saw them alive. Once out at sea, Skylar and an accomplice suddenly attacked Tom. They forced him below deck. Meanwhile, Jennifer distracted Jackie. But soon, Jackie too was bound, gagged, and had duct tape over her eyes. The couple was dragged to the deck, terrified. Skylar shoved paperwork in front of them, documents transferring control of their finances. Jackie signed, but intentionally misspelled her last name. It was her silent cry for help, a clue that she was being forced. Then, in one of the cruelest acts imaginable, Tom and Jackie were chained together, tied to an anchor, and thrown overboard. Alive. They sank quickly into the ocean's blackness. They never resurfaced. Days later, Tom's brother Jim visited the dock. He noticed the yacht looked wrong. Tarps draped over controls, dirty towels, ropes left loose. Tom was meticulous. He would never leave his boat like that. Jim left a note for the new owners. Jennifer called back, saying she and her husband had bought the yacht and that Tom and Jackie had simply driven off with the money. But when investigators searched the yacht, they believed they saw a bloody handprint inside. And suddenly, this wasn't a missing persons case. This was a homicide. Under pressure, Skylar began to unravel. He confessed he'd been no star. His so-called child acting career was a lie. He was broke. He killed Tom and Jackie for their savings, their yacht, and a chance to start over. Police also discovered video footage from Skylar and Jennifer's home, clips of the yacht, spliced with footage of them laughing, celebrating, just days after the murders. It was as if they thought killing two people could be erased by filming over their lives. In court, accomplice Alonzo Machane took a plea deal, 20 years in prison. Jennifer DeLeon was sentenced to life without parole. And Skylar DeLeon, along with another accomplice, John F. Kennedy, was sentenced to death. To this day, Tom and Jackie's bodies have never been recovered. They remain lost to the sea, chained to an anchor in the black water off the California coast. This story isn't about a child star. It's about a predator who hid behind a smile, behind lies of fame and innocence. And two good people, Tom and Jackie Hawks, who paid the ultimate price for trusting him. So next time you meet someone who seems too good to be true, remember Tom and Jackie. Because sometimes evil doesn't look like a monster. Sometimes it looks like a neighbor.